Hi guys, I'm really excited to draw something new today, and I'll try to speak as well while I'm doing it. So first and foremost, I'm just placing the character in the scene relatively where I want it to be. We don't need to stress ourselves too much, but it's good to have at least some kind of idea where the head is. For example, now I'm drawing the head. Some important placeholders, right? And when you feel that you have that, then you can go and put the colors. So this is like a black and white drawing, and is the most important thing here is just the values. Where do you think her head is? So her head will be here. These will be the eyes, this will be the mouth and the nose, right? And the rest of the things follow from that. So my goal here would be to show her hand, and maybe her hair. Okay, and like that. And I would like, for example, to draw some other faces, which will be, in this case, like some skeletons. So 3 skeletons, let's say. And you may wonder, how will I transform from this into something usable, something that it really looks like a person? And the answer is, I place the values in the correct place, and the drawing will come from that. I know how hands look, for example, in a certain angle. Eventually you'll see it, because it's not really hard to imagine. And especially if you look on the right side, you can actually see what I'm talking about. You can actually see the dress and the hand already taking shape. Yeah, it's actually pretty intuitive if you think about it. And then her blouse and so on. The trick is to keep yourself not zoomed in, because the moment you zoom in, you're basically cutting yourself the advantage that you have when you're drawing kind of like that. You need to let the shape be created with the things around. For example, now I'm doing the shape around the eyes, right? And then go into the hair. Actually, a lot of things that I can do to simulate the head, then the neck. You don't need to draw everything. I think it will be a mistake. It will be a big mistake to draw everything, because when you're drawing value, you don't draw things. You sculpt it, and it will make sense afterwards. So I wanted to draw, for example, the skeletons, and the skeletons are pretty, I don't know, easy to draw, because they are by default shapes, right? So they're the easiest thing to draw, actually. Skeletons, looking very realistic, right, like that. These are the eye sockets, obviously. And we already know how the muscles go around the cheeks, and yeah. So that would be one. And then if I want to make it more realistic, I add the darkness around. Yeah, and then the second eye around here, and this would be it, I suppose. And then the third, like that. Yeah. Yes. And now I think it's very clear for you how to actually build these kind of things, because they're not really hard. You're just not accustomed to think in this way. It's actually quite easy, because you just recognize the shapes from looking at people around you, you know. For example, I'm trying to draw this muscle, but you just need just a little, and then the shape is revealed. Also like that, shape is revealed by these tinier shapes around. Yeah, so when you zoom out, it needs to make sense. That's the only rule that you have to do, that you have to think about actually. It needs to make sense from more or less any angle, but in particular from when you zoomed in and when you zoom out. Yeah. And for the other effects such as hair or the best would be to make it very, very, very light, barely existent and loose, kind of like that. You don't need to show shape, you just need to show that there is something there. And for the exterior, I think this would be very nicely made, a little like that. Yeah. And if I want her to have, for example, crown, I would do this. And that would be it. So I hope you liked this drawing and you learned something from it. I wish you a wonderful evening. Bye bye.